Once convicted for my crime, sent me to a prison cell, desolate to be confronted by emotional trauma I had eluded and the shame of failures of the life I chose. A woman from the church befriended me, blessed me with hope, and showed me genuine kindness. She took me to the halfway house from the prison, gave me food and clothes to get me started. Her positive support and the time she took to drive me places allowed me to receive things I needed to start over. Someone caring and offering help gave me the courage to start over by attending college, starting a business, and returning to the church and maintaining my mental health. I am here to persuade you not to hate the addict, hate the disease. So become mentors to give them better chances of succeeding, to conquer their addictions. Your positive support will encourage them and show them how to use community resources to fulfill basic survival needs, giving them strength required to maintain stability to rebuild their life without drugs and crime. Too many people suffer from addiction, causing family and friends to suffer with them. Addiction leads to death, incarceration, and thousands of children left in foster homes. Drugs are dangerous to everyone. There is no immunity to save anyone from addiction. According to the NIDA, Addiction Science, retrieved from the drugabuse.gov, most drug affects the brain reward circuit by flooding it with chemical messengers of dopamine, leading people to repeat the behavior again and again. Once people realize drugs are ruining their life, it takes a long time working hard for them to overcome the addiction. Addicts have trouble eating, sleeping, and maintaining their hygiene. This causes health problems or even death. Some addicts change so much that even their friends and family don't recognize them. Here's some images that I pulled off of Bing. This is the effects of people's looks. It's horrifying. These photos show drugs and how they destroy people's humanity. Statistics provided by NIDA on the blue line shows that drug overdose deaths caused by drugs overall increased from 23,000 in 2002 to more than 72,000 in 2017. Overdoses more than tripled. Continuing this trend another 15 years, roughly 216,000 lives will be lost to overdose. While incarcerated, nearly every girl that I knew had friends or family that had died because of an addiction. So I told you the ugly truth about how serious addiction has become, the effects of drugs on the population. Now I will tell you some fears that cause less people to actively help conquer this epidemic. Helping addicts recover is very difficult. It's time-consuming and emotionally draining. It's harder to feel comfortable and safe and to trust an addict. Many people feel intimidated or afraid of people with criminal backgrounds. Addicts will lie, steal, and cheat anyone to supply their drug habit. But once they're clean and recovered from addiction, these behaviors are less likely. It takes time to rebuild their lives and become trustworthy and stable, much like taking time and resources to rebuild a bridge that has been burned. According to Elizabeth Hartley, PhD, rebuilding trust takes time and effort, and the first step is for the addict to acknowledge he or she has a problem and needs help. Some people find it hard to invest time and emotion on recovering addicts out of fear, thinking it will be a waste of time, or feel that they maybe get hurt caring if the addict relapses. Some believe addicts will do something to hurt them. There are many fears when forming a new relationship, especially with a condom, things that you may thinking that create fear, such as being robbed, beaten, stolen from, murdered, and many other criminal acts. The fight to overcome addiction and return to a normal life is a daunting task. According to Leanne Hall, relapse rates for drug addiction are similar to those for diabetes, asthma, and high blood pressure, according to the National Institute of Drug Abuse. Here are some statistics for you to think about. 40 to 60% of addicts will not succeed in recovering from their addiction. Wow, that is mind-boggling to imagine that about half the addicts in the world will either die or lose their freedom in incarceration because of a disease. Now that I've told you about addiction problems and covered some fears preventing people from getting involved, now comes the best part where I tell you how you can lend support to addicts safely and effectively. Addicts desperately need people who care, that are good influences and are willing to invest time and support them. They need guidance to rebuild their life, to know they're important, and to have others believe in them. If we all get involved, lending support in some way, many lives will be saved from addiction and we will prevail over drugs. Recovery is a long road with highs and lows. However, having a support system makes recovery manageable. Helping someone overcome addiction will save their life and bless yours. They're more likely to put more effort into recovery when they're encouraged. Our prime purpose in life is to help others. So let's help those struggling addicts climb the mountain of recovery and succeed in reaching the top. Be the shepherd. People are 70% more likely to succeed in beating addiction when they are supported in their endeavors to learn how to live again. Let's make sure that all addicts get a 70% chance of winning the battle. Reach out to them in your community, especially while they're incarcerated. Become a pen pal for moral support. Help them get food and clothing resources. Let's make the number of overdose deaths decrease instead of increase. So in conclusion, people recovering from drug addiction have a higher chance of success when they are supported by people encouraging them, helping them with resources, and show they are worth something. Addicts are lost in life, suffering, and dying by the thousands. Many people are afraid to get involved to help these addicts through their tough times. I told you what to do to support addicts so they have the best chance of success. I'm going to ask all of you to do two things before leaving. Pick up a slip at the back table that will give you a website address to learn more about addiction recovery, and if you're interested, sign up on the sign-up sheet to become a support pen pal to help with resources. Let us all strive to save more lives.